Welcome to the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism program at the University of Vermont. We're a program in the Rubenstein School of Environment and Natural Resources. And while you might think it's a bit unusual to have a Parks, Recreation, and Tourism program in a School of Environment, this is really what makes us different from other programs around the country. There are programs in Parks, Recreation, and Tourism that are in business colleges. There are some that are in health and physical education colleges. But we're in the natural resources programs, and our focus is on people, resources, and sustainability. What we're interested in is the ways that people give meaning to their lives through engagement with outdoor resources, heritage resources, and cultural resources. And we do this well through this multidisciplinary Parks, Recreation, and Tourism program. By the way, this is me. I'm Patricia Storkowski. I'm the program chair in PRT, and I'm a professor in the Rubenstein School. Here's a little bit about our mission at in the PRT program at UVM. Our goal is to help people learn to plan and manage leisure, recreation, and tourism for all sorts of good outcomes. And these include environmental quality, economic viability, and social benefit. So we're preparing students to become leaders in creating programs that help people individually and host communities and governments be effective in managing recreation and travel experiences. And we're doing this with an eye towards sustainability. If this is our mission, here's how we do it. We have two concentrations in the program. One focused on tourism planning and management, and the other on outdoor recreation leadership and education. Within each of those concentrations, we provide basic knowledge across the social science, humanities, and natural sciences, and then we combine that foundational knowledge with professional training in areas that relate to tourism and outdoor recreation planning and leadership. So students are learning how to design, how to deliver high quality recreation and tourism programs. And with this, they become quite competitive in the job market. Even though Vermont is our home laboratory, we also study regional, national, and international examples as well. So from the classroom to the outdoors, we have students engaged in projects and learning on the UVM campus, in the city of Burlington, at the Echo Center for Lake Champlain Research, looking out from the top of Mount Philo across the landscapes of Vermont, Lake Champlain, and New York, over into the Adirondacks, and even students will work on issues related, they'll study and they'll work on issues related to national parks and international parks and heritage areas, like this one in France, here in China, and students will even do study abroad programs. One of the notable study abroad programs of the Rubenstein School actually occurs here at this place in Costa Rica, where students go for an entire semester and take a series of courses related to environment, natural resources, parks, tourism, and so on. Here are the faculty. These perhaps are not beautiful pictures, but here we are. To the left is Professor Kensel. Walter Kensel is a professor in the Rubenstein School. And also involved in Parks, Recreation, and Tourism programming. To the right is David Kaufman, a senior lecturer in the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism program also of the Rubenstein School, and myself in the middle. If you want to see a little bit more of us in outside of the formal places, here we are. So, what does it look like to take a degree in the Rubenstein School? Well, first of all, students are going to take some requirements that are university and Rubenstein School requirements. Those are listed at the top here. And then they take a series of core courses that deal with natural and cultural history, and then a series of, for the beginning courses, and then a series of courses dealing with ecology, social processes in the environment, integrating courses that involve not only classroom learning, but also in NR 206, problem solving for practical problems and working with communities, and a course on power, privilege, and environment. Added to those, we have the PRT program requirements. And these involve a series of courses that start in the first year and move on through to your senior year. Some basic introductions, and PRT 191 is an internship. I'll say more about that in a moment. As I mentioned, the students choose one of the two concentrations, and then they take a variety of other courses that effectively are falling into general education, electives, and other kinds of electives. This program accommodates both transfer students as well as students who come in the first year of their college studies. And so, let's talk a little bit more about the two concentrations. Here are some of the courses that students will take in each of these. The first concentration, Tourism Planning and Management, requires 3 specific courses. Those are in blue. Those courses are oriented more towards the tourism system, entrepreneurship, marketing, and so on. And in addition to those, the students will take some other electives, and they'll take the courses required for the other concentration. I'll explain why in just a moment. In the second concentration, students focus on recreation, leadership, and environmental education, and they take the 3 courses you see listed in blue. And these courses primarily are oriented to more community-based and governmental-based aspects of parks, recreation, and tourism. Within this curriculum as well, students will take some other choices. They'll choose courses from a set of options, and they'll also take then the required courses from tourism planning and management. The reason students are taking courses that are in blue, all students take all those courses in blue, is that there's a lot of overlap in what they do in public and private sector, and in how they might eventually work in the future. For example, private ski areas are often built on public recreation lands that they've leased from the state or from the federal government. At the same time, communities and local governments are interested in the entrepreneurial work of tourism, and so they intersect with the business community in that way. So there are linkages across these 2 concentrations, and that's what we try to accommodate in the curriculum for each of these. And here's what students learn about in these courses. All of these topics will show up in 1 or more courses in the program, and it allows students to get a really broad-based education in parks, recreation, and tourism. Broad-based, but specific enough so that they have gained some skills that can be put to good use in the future. So one of the most important courses we have is PRT 191, the internship. And students do all sorts of activities for their internship. It's really a course that they can take based on their strongest interest. We've had students in local government settings, in working in private business settings, in travel companies, and in all sorts of opportunities, even worldwide. For example, we had a student do an internship for Red Bull. Red Bull is an Austrian company, and here they were marketing and doing work for them in Vermont. So we have lots of options. Students do this internship in the junior and senior year, and so it gives them a chance to think about what they'd like to do. Often these internships turn into jobs for students after they've graduated. And so, what can we say about the PRT program? This is what students are saying. One other thing should be mentioned, that students who are pursuing degrees in other fields and other colleges around campus can also take a minor in PRT. It will take 15 credits, and quite frequently they can use those credits as electives in their major while they fulfilled the minor credits from PRT. There's also another minor on campus that's really well liked by students. This is a minor in sports management, and the program here is a collaboration of 4 colleges. Students take 3 core courses, one of which is in the PRT program, and then they take 3 other courses that are in the categories below: sports management and marketing, communications, and entrepreneurship. And the students come from all over campus to take this minor, and it's for good reason that this is so popular, because sports are big business in both public and private settings, and students are interested in the kinds of opportunities that being in sports will provide. Here's a little bit about a couple of favorite classes according to students, and we like to teach them as well. The first one is Ski Area Management, PRT 157. Students return to campus a week early in January, and then they spend a week on the mountain, and they spend the rest of the semester back in the classroom. But during that week on the mountain, they're learning from professionals who are engaged in the work of management and operations at the ski area. And they do classroom learning as well as getting a chance to do some skiing as part of that course. So that's a really popular course, and one of the few in the country. So we're really proud of that one. A second course, PRT 96, Parks and Protected Areas, looks at the study of parks and other protected areas in the United States and also around the world, looking at not only the history of these, but also challenges that come from visitors' use of these notable scenic places, and at the qualities of the environment that are affected by visitor participation at parks and protected areas. So that's another of our favorite classes. And a third one is PRT 255, which has to do with environmental, historic, and cultural interpretation. In this class, we ask how managers communicate effectively with visitors who go to recreation parks and tourism places. And we often in this class do projects for a local agency or business. In this case, the picture you're looking at here, in this case, the project was for the Morgan Horse Farm down in Weybridge, Vermont, and students created these poster boards and some booklets and brochures for providing information for visitor services at the Morgan Horse Farm. It's a very nice collaboration, and we have really enjoyed that process as well. So, okay, you make it through the program and you get to graduation, and now what happens? Well, first of all, we have, usually we have, maybe not this year due to the virus, but in almost every year, we have a very nice graduation ceremony. And then the question is, what kind of job are you going to get? So here's where students work. Our graduates are employed all over the world, from local to state to national and international recreation and tourism places. They work in public and private settings, and they do all sorts of jobs, working their way up in operations or taking managerial positions or managerial training positions. They work to manage programming in parks settings and tourism settings, and they do all sorts of organizational work and hands-on work in all the settings listed here, and many others. So no matter where you go, you can probably find our PRT graduates somewhere. So come join us at UVM. It's a place we really enjoy for all sorts of reasons, not only the setting of Vermont, but the Rubenstein School is a great place to be. And Parks, Recreation, and Tourism is an opportunity to improve your life, inspire others, and change the world. Thanks for listening, and hope to see you here someday at UVM.